two autocrats are set to meet on Tuesday, and that is raising international concern. In the latest sign of a deepening alignment, the Kremlin says Russian President Vladimir Putin will visit North Korea on Tuesday and meet with Kim Jong-un. It will be the Russian leader's first visit to North Korea in more than 2 decades. We're live in South Korea now with CNN's Mike Valerio. This is remarkable. Mike, what do we know?
Well, Amra, it seems as though most of the events we're going to be watching will happen on Wednesday because according to the calendar that we've been able to confirm so far through Pyongyang and the readout, the official announcement, I should say, coming from the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin's going to be visiting eastern Russia tomorrow, just a few hours from now, local time. So it seems as though he's going to come down from the northern part of far eastern Russia and then pay his visit to Kim Jong-un later on Tuesday into Wednesday. But Amra, really at the heart of this is about what each country wants from one another. There seems to be a very long laundry list from North Korea, starting with an update to its satellite and missile technology. It's tried to launch these satellites for a very long time. Its latest launch a few weeks ago has failed. It launched put one quote-unquote spy satellite into orbit of November of last year. But this is something that Russia knows how to do, and they are forming what's been called a strategic partnership in September of last year when Kim Jong-un visited Russian President Vladimir Putin by train in a pretty remarkably photographed visit in all the pageantry that existed for that visit. So satellite technology, food, energy, prestige North Korea wants from this visit by the Russian leader. Also another ally to confront the United States. Russia's list is a little shorter, but its magnitude is just as big, Amra. It wants more munitions, a continuing supply of munitions from North Korea to help prosecute its war in Ukraine. And North Korea is happy to do that. Experts we talk to tell us all the time, because North Korea desperately needs foreign cash from all the sanctions pressure that it has come under for years, and it has a huge stockpile of armaments. South Korean intelligence officials have told us that there is evidence of North Korean weapons on Ukrainian battlefields. American intelligence officials have mirrored that as well. So, long story long, Amra, what we are watching from here in Seoul, when this eventually comes to a close, it will be fascinating and in many quarters of foreign policy observers, somewhat arresting if North Korea and Russia, through this new partnership, come to some sort of new military agreement, a new military understanding. The last time that they had a treaty of mutual aid, Amra, between North Korea and the USSR was signed in early July of 1961, saying, all right, if something happens to North Korea or the USSR, we will come to each other's support. That was nullified with the collapse of the Soviet Union and Russia forming ties with South Korea. So if you can imagine, at the end of this meeting, this new bromance, if you will, between Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin and some new military understanding coming to fruition or military drills, that will be certainly remarkable. We should add that this meeting is happening on the same day that China and South Korea are holding joint security talks to certainly protect and promote the status quo here on the peninsula. This is not something that China would want, a new military agreement between Russia and the North, because anything, Amra, that has the possibility of adding new American troops, that is certainly not in China's interest. So a lot to watch here in terms of what really happens, what is delivered in concrete terms from this meeting, Amra.
Yeah, this will be raising more than just eyebrows, but a lot of concerns. Mike Valerio, live for us there in Seoul, South Korea, especially there in Seoul at the Blue House. Thank you.